It's very rare to be a rookie in the NBA and not play some time in the G League, but if you're a high draft pick and play in the G League, you could be considered a bust. And to be honest, it's not early to say if somebody was a bust, so we're going to give you the top 8 most disappointing rookies this NBA season so far. So stick around till we get to number 1. Coming in at number 8, we have Jalen Hood Schifino. The big physical guard out of Indiana was drafted 17th overall by the LA Lakers, and they had selected Jalen before valuable players like Jamie Jaquez, Brandon Pojemski, and Cam Whitmore. By far, one of the worst things about this is that the next 3 players drafted have been studs for their respective teams. On the one hand, Jalen was only appearing in 9 games, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he is on the Lakers, who are trying to compete for a title. In those 9 games, Jalen's been playing very poorly, shooting 23% from the field, 11% from 3, and only 50% from the charity stripe. This is scary, due to the fact that it shows no potential in his jump shot, but I'm not content in his playmaking and perimeter defensive skills as well. The next player could be higher on the list, but the Orlando Magic did reach for him in the draft. If you haven't guessed it already, it's Jet Howard, who was selected 11th overall. This shocked a lot of folks, including myself, because his best skill was him shooting, but he wasn't even the best shooter in the draft class. Seriously, he was surprisingly drafted over Grady Dick and Jordan Hawkins. But once again, there is a bit of a wiggle room to leave benefit of the doubt because look at how stacked that Orlando backcourt is. They do have Cole Anthony, Anthony Black, Jalen Suggs, and Markelle Fultz. This, of all things, is probably the reason why Jet has only played 36 minutes in his NBA career with subpar efficiency. On a positive note though, the G League has treated Jet very well and is averaging 25 points on really good shooting efficiency. So his potential could be a lot better, but I'm just really underwhelmed with this 1-year result. The next player does have potential in the world, but for the first time, it was a little underwhelming to say the least. So he does come in at number 6, and this is where we're going to be talking about Amen Thompson. Did he have a sprained ankle that took him out for a month? Yeah. Did he play in the G League for a short period of time? Sure. And does he have some unluckiness to his first season? I mean, kinda. But comparing Amen to his brother Ashur, I just don't think that Ashur would have a bigger impact on the Pistons than Amen's impact on the Rockets. Amen is averaging 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists and a steal a game. And while shooting 56% from the 2-point range and a whopping 13% from 3, also seeing his free throw percentage be below 70% is scary for his jump shot in the future at least. He's still one of the best athletes in the league, and as long as he puts in the work, there's no reason that he should be a bust. Oh, and talking about hard work real quick, this player knows it all too well. The Montverde Academy and Duke University alum Dariq Whitehead is our 5th most disappointing rookie, mainly because Dariq was a former 5-star and was also the borderline number 1 overall prospect in his high school class. It was either him or picking between Nick Smith Jr. and Derek Lively. That's what makes it even more underwhelming, is that he was such a high recruit and that he fell off the map. Being drafted by the Brooklyn Nets, number 22 overall was somewhat of a steal. Dariq was projected to go a little bit higher than that, but currently he's only appeared in 2 games for the Nets. And since before arriving at Duke, Dariq has been battling injuries forever, and he recently just got a new one. Whitehead also diagnosed with a left shin stress reaction, which is nothing serious, but he is going to miss some playing time in the G League. On the bright side, Dariq is still only 19 and has great potential to become a valuable building block for Brooklyn. The next player up on my chopping block could by far have the worst start to his career out of all these rookies. Coming in number 4 is Kobe Bufkin. The Hawks drafted Kobe right out of the lottery pick at 15. And the most degrading part is that he was drafted right before guys like Keontae George, Jamie Jaquez, and Brandon Pojemski. All 3 of these guys have been playing very valuable and very productive games and putting in all the minutes for their teams. So if I think that Atlanta could change their draft decision, they definitely would. Probably because Kobe has only played count them, 2 games and hasn't made a single field goal yet in his career. Now, there's nothing else to say about that, but it's really just disappointing. Moving on to the big one, the number 3rd overall pick comes in at number 3 on our most underwhelming rookie list. Scoot Henderson, good old Scooty. He was arguably the number 1 on our list of even an argument to be on the list. With all that hype that surrounded Scoot and his confident comments that he should be the number 1 pick, you would think that his rookie season would be a lot better than what it was. Coming into the G League Ignite organization, he kind of had a head start versus all the rookies, but that's not the case, as he has been playing sluggish and not what we thought that Scoot Henderson was going to turn out to be. Early on, he had injury problems, but he was still playing 33 games and his stats were below average. He was shooting 40% from the field, 30% from 3, and 12 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, and 3 turnovers a game. Not terrible numbers, but it's definitely underwhelming with all the hype that he had. The Russell Westbrook comparison is definitely there though, I gotta admit. The great playmaker and a great athlete, sure, but the jump shot just isn't there yet. And the careless turnovers are a problem as well, but the 3rd overall pick should figure it out soon. At number 2, we have once again a player that I kinda had high hopes for, but with the Utah Jazz trading for John Collins. Taylor Hendricks found himself stuck in the mud with his rookie season. Taylor was drafted 9th out of Central Florida and was a great prospect that scouts drooled over due to his long length and size. On top of that, you add good, efficient jump shots on him, and he is an ideal draft prospect. In the time that he played, which was only 13 games, Taylor hadn't looked bad, but only was shooting 40% from the field, and that's scary for a dude his size. The positive thing is that his 3-point percentage, which is 36, and as a rookie, is really good for his size. I just had more high hopes for him this year, but it was derailed due to the injuries and John Collins, of course. Again, this is my list, but please, if you disagree, don't take it out on me. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are. Now, before we get to the most disappointing rookie this season, let me announce some horrible mentions. There's Jarris Walker. By the way, he was left off the list due to his past 2 performances. Leonard Miller, Bryce Sensabaugh, Noah Clowney, and Colby Jones. If you haven't guessed by now who our number 1 pick is, then you're just as dumb as a box of rocks. It's Grady Dick, the 13th overall pick out of UK, and he has been stinking it up. In his 22 games that he's been in, he has shot 32% from the field, 30% from 3, which is not good considering many people thought of him as the best shooter in the draft class. But he's perfect from the charity stripe, so there's something to keep an eye on with him. Averaging 4, 1, and 1, so okay, I guess. But look, his defense has just been subpar to say the least. Getting blown on closeouts and not just being athletically ready to guard good and smaller ball handlers, Grady's been a disappointment to Toronto as a whole, especially considering the very next pick has been balling out, who is Jordan Hawkins. Personally, I thought he was a way better prospect than Grady, but the Raptors missed out on a very good hard-nosed defender who's been playing very efficient on the offensive side as well.